I want to start off by saying when I got into Congress, I had to establish a presence. And I did that right from the start. Went out there and sold the island of Guam. Got to know the people I needed to know to get into the committees that are important to the island of Guam. That's the House Armed Services for our national defense. That's natural resources for the Department of Interior. And most recently, they added a third, which is unprecedented for a new freshman. That's Foreign Affairs, Indo-PACOM area. And I want to continue to do the job for the people of Guam. Learned so much in the first year, did so much in the first year, and because of our presence and because of our ability to work across the board with Democrats, most importantly in committee, working really hard, we were able to get $3.2 billion within the first year, additional money through the NDAA, through amendments that were important for our agencies on Guam, for our community safety, for the water, for the infrastructure, most importantly for Port Authority, and repairing the breakwater as well. That's crucial. It's one storm away from being destroyed. That would be devastating for the island, but we're working on that now. And I want to see that through the finish. There's so much I can get done for the people of Guam. And I want to work for the people of Guam to do that, to listen to everyone. I work well with the governor of Guam. I testified before the Guam legislature. I've met all the mayors and asked them what do they need. I work with the agencies too as well. I don't shut anybody out. I put myself out there on the air. I am transparent. I'm not perfect. I learn, and I want to continue to grow. It's important for longevity to keep its movement in Congress. It builds trust. It builds respect. And it builds yourself up within the committees that you work for. That gives you more authority to authorize money for your island. I work well with the CNMI, Kalili. I work well with American Samoa, Wataragan. I work well in my committees. I am proud to serve the island of Guam. I'm a soldier, I'm a veteran. I have worked for the government of Guam as a safety officer. I've worked in the private industry. And most recently, I was a member of Senate. And I know what it takes to negotiate and write measures, and I want to continue to use this experience and the experience I gained in the first term in Congress. We pushed hard. We worked our team, and we can do a lot more. Get me back in Congress. I appreciate this time. God bless you all.
Congressman Moreland, thank you so much for your closing remarks. Now, Candidate Cruz, your 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. So when do we know that it's time to change course? As soon as you find out that we're heading in the wrong direction. And over the last 2 years, I have seen missed opportunity, and I have seen the threats that are facing our island. And that is the reason that I am running for Congress. Because if we don't change course now with Washington, D.C., we may lose this window of opportunity forever. Now, my opponent, he's tried his best, but you know what? He lost $300 million in compact impact. He's not been able to get compensation for our downwinders, and I don't believe that that's going to happen under Mike Johnson. And he hasn't done anything to really diversify our economy or even shore up tourism, the things that matter outside of the fence. And what does he do? He instead claims credit for things that the Biden administration has given to the people of Guam. That $3.2 billion, that was done by the Department of Defense and the Biden administration. And so when you're looking at that, and you're looking at the stuff that he's doing with his plus minus, it's a shell game because this Congress is dysfunctional. And then he's got this whole thing that he's doing with the veterans, where you're talking about gaslighting veterans, telling them they're going to be able to help them with assistive vehicles, when in fact it won't actually do anything. And that's because he doesn't have a plan. I have a plan. You can read it on gingercruise.com. I have the experience. I have a network in Washington, D.C. that I'm already tapping and talking to on a whole range of issues. And I know that they are going to be able to help the people of Guam. And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I get in there? I'm going to do something that he didn't do. Have a professional staff with a legislative director who understands how to get things through both the Senate and the House. He doesn't have that kind of staff. We need that around a Guam team, and then we tackle issues. We tackle our economic issues. We bring down the cost of living. We diversify our economy. We have to shore up our tourism. And then we also need to look at things like health care. We need to get more reimbursement for the Guam Memorial Hospital. We need to get rid of the Medicaid cap. And then for our working families, we have to do more. We've got to provide more opportunities for child care. We have to deal with elderly care because this is a growing issue on Guam. And we have to talk about lowering the cost of housing. This and much more, it's available on gingercruise.com. You can read my plan. You can even give me input on it. But at the end of the day, the difference between us is I am going to aim high. I am going to have the best possible professional team, and we are going to work very, very hard and never relent. And we are going to fight for the people of Guam. And I promise you that if you elect me, and I humbly ask you for your vote, if you elect me to that position, to be Guam's delegate in Congress, I promise you that you will be very proud of what we can do together. Thank you. Sidza Usmaasi.